Hey, sweetie. So this is day one of actually feeling like I kind of know what I'm doing here. We've had a few failed attempts before this that I didn't feel like documenting because it's been an absolute nightmare, to be honest. So like some fun things here. This was attempt number one, which went quite poorly. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's pretty horrible, actually. So as you can see, it's not very much of a ring. It got kind of warped sideways, and I wasn't really sure how to fix it. So I was trying to put on the vise and stuff, and then I essentially hardened half of it on accident, and then went to go straighten it out, and it totally snapped. And so it was pretty bad. It was vaguely ring shaped at one time, but it's no longer. So since then, I've been using it for testing purposes, for testing how the soldering works and testing like which materials are better to solder with. This is all copper I'm practicing with. I'm not practicing with gold. I'm too poor for that. So round two is actually, funny enough, the solder material that I have is pretty much the exact same dimensions as your ring. And so I tried making one out of the solder material because I was like, oh cool, this would be great practice for like how to get the ring shape down and all that stuff. And I got it cut, and I got it sort of ring shaped, and then it broke because it's not the right kind of metal, very obviously, so that was fun. So I got a couple here so far. This one's coming along really nicely. Again, they're all copper. But yeah, my pinky finger is pretty close to your finger in size. I noticed that as I'm like walking around. If I like bring you a ring or I find it and I'm taking it to you, I'll just throw it on my pinky. So that's kind of my gauge of reference. But technically, I do have a mandrel here, and it is 6.5. So they're going well. I got a couple others that are kind of going underway. So they're kind of 6.5-ish. That one's a little small, but honestly, I wanted it for the practice of soldering, and I wanted to break a joint and see if it kind of went back together. And it did. It took a minute, but I got it back together. Had to reheat it and stuff, and then we got another 6.5. So it's all kind of coming along. I'm really glad that I've got the copper to work with, because I guarantee I would have fucked up the material that I have for your gold one if I would have used that. So anyway, just kind of wanted to pop in and give you a little status update. I'm just so happy to be the one that has the opportunity to do this. And you're so wonderful, and spending every day with you is like a dream come true. So hopefully as it goes along, it'll get better, and I will keep improving here. So we'll get these ones finished up today, and then I'll give you a little showcase of how they turned out. But yeah, I hope I make it in time. It's currently May 4th, so we've got 3 weeks from today to get it done. So here's kind of just the process of like how I'm kind of working these. So I've got this handy dandy little ring light stand, and I'm just going in here with my Dremel and sanding down the solder joints on these. So hopefully I'll get better as I practice more, and there won't be such horrific solder joints to sand down. But in the meantime, this is what's getting the job done. So at this point, I'm just trying to buff out the finish because it's relatively close to flush. I figured out a good way to straighten it once, because it's got some little kind of tweaks in it. So that being said, once I get these nice and buffed out and smooth, we will take it over to the press station, which is a fancy name for my soft gel ice. But like I say, there's still a lot more that needs to come out of that part. So here we've got my solution to my shoddy workmanship, which is just soft gel ice that I can really clamp down, get super snug, and it'll actually straighten out my little deformities and fuck ups, which I have many. This will get it 90% of the way there, and then I can take it over to my flat sander, and that'll knock down any high points. So, not that there are that many, but there are some. So, we are at Operation Flat Sander. It's loud, so I'm not going to talk much, but essentially I'm just using this little wheel right here to kind of take down the little high points that are still sticking out. So, recent developments. I remembered I have a jeweler's anvil. Like, I bought it and I completely forgot about it. So, the thing I was doing before where I was taking them and sanding them flat on the side and then kind of like buffing it out to get rid of the hard edge that it gave, which like was very serviceable but not great. Yeah, no, I just use my soft blow hammer and my jeweler's anvil and I can get them nice and flat and straight, no problem at all. And then just shave off the weld line and we're all set. So don't need to worry about that anymore, which is good. So getting a little closer. I've got two I'm happy with. One that needs a lot of TLC, and then two that got fucked up somewhere along the line. That being said, I think I'm gonna finish these couple out and then maybe give the real one a shot. I don't know, we'll see. I might just finish these couple out today and then call it for the day. But we're making progress. We got two that look good. Yeah. So we're getting there. I guess good is a rough word. But I mean, they look good. So, this is going to be your ring. It's white gold. It's quite lovely, to be honest. I am petrified of messing this up, but we're gonna give it a shot and see how it goes. We've done quite a few practice rings and made some really good progress, I think. Here, I'll show you. So this is the ones that we've done. This was the first attempt, which I accidentally hardened, so I couldn't progress it further. This one I got to soldering, but I just wasn't happy with this like deformity here, and I didn't think I could get it out without cracking it, so I just left it as is. This one I got together, but it's the wrong size. I cut it too thin or too short, and I just figured I'd build it anyways. I got it pounded out to the right size, but it's like way too thin because I stretched it so far, so I just kind of stopped it there. This was one that I did, this is like the second one I did, I think. I sanded it flat to get rid of the high spots, and I realized that was a terrible, stupid idea. Because now I've got these big, ununiform, flat sides, so absolutely just terrible. So, kind of bailed on this one at this point. I could have finished it out, I guess, but it would have taken so much time. And honestly, it's already kind of thin as it is because I sanded it out, so it's like, sometime. And these two are cool. They're nice. They got finished very nicely. Obviously you can see the solder point because I'm not soldering with straight copper, so yeah, they went very well. They're very pretty, and yeah, I'm happy with these two. And these were the last two I did, so we will give it a shot and see how it goes. So I am documenting the process. Figured we can watch this. It'll be kind of fun and cute. So yeah, getting started. So first step is I'm gonna take this and just kind of get it to a semi-round shape with these. And I wish I would have gotten some of these that had a more severe bend to them, because it would have made my job a lot easier here. But we do what we do, and we work with what we got. So, yeah. So we got it a little closer to round. I'm a little nervous about breaking it, to be honest, because it's a lot harder than the copper that I was practicing with, but we're gonna do some research and make sure that doesn't happen. Probably. Here we are at this point where we've got basically a ring. I mean, it's getting there. So, yeah, it's coming along. Why is my GoPro focusing on the outside? Like, you'd think that it would. Let's see here. Technical difficulties. Bam. Yeah. Coming along nicely. Stop focusing on everything but what I'm looking at. I'm switching to my phone. This is done. Behold, the most useful my GoPro can possibly be for this process. Functioning as a camera stand for my phone. Wow, look at that. Oh, shit. Okay, wait. So, this will work. Look at that. It actually sometimes will attempt to focus in close. Yeah! Sweet. Pardon my disgusting fingernails, I've been busy. That being said, we've got progress. It's coming along. It's looking somewhat ring-shaped. It has the essence of ring. If a ring is lemonade, this is a LaCroix at this point. Like, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's not quite lemon water, but it's LaCroix. It's someone yelled lemon at it while it was being bottled. It's getting there. So, yeah, we're gonna keep making progress. Once I get this kind of snugged up at the tip here, I'll probably be done for the day because I need to go buy some borax for the soldering. So, that being said, this will probably be the last update I have for the day. I lied, I'll probably update it when I get that snugged up. As you can see here, we have a nice symmetrically joined up link. That's nearly good, so we can get some room for the solder to go in. It's not round yet because I want it to be as square as possible going into that joint. So we'll round it out once it's soldered. But right now, it's looking pretty good. So I'm gonna get some borax so I can properly flux this, and we should be all set for moving forward tomorrow. Or I guess, Monday probably. Since I'll probably want to spend tomorrow with you, sweetie. It's Saturday today, by the way. This is still May 4th. Only a modest, like 5 hours since I started. But yeah, it's coming along pretty good, I think. It's not perfectly square, but we'll get it there. I was most concerned about that being nice and even, so I get a really good solder on there and have a really nice bond, and I don't fuck this up somehow. Still pretty sure I'll fuck it up somehow, but we'll see. I promise you there's no need to pay any attention at all to how much of this I've already used. It's embarrassing. I may accidentally be losing pieces when I cut them. Like that. Like, see, I know where that one went, but I've lost like 10. And if I think of it as gold, it makes me uncomfortable. So I just think of it as garbage. The second I cut it, it's trash or it's useful. And that's entirely determined by if I find it or not. If it disappears into the disaster of my floor, it's garbage. If I find it, it's gold. Right? Right. So I'm just making a nice little pool of flux here. I know this doesn't look clean, but like, this is homemade, let's be honest here. Is it really gonna be? And then I'm going right in. Sorry, did I say Sparks? I meant self-pickling flux. That's self-pickling flux, not Sparks. That is Sparks, and that is baking soda and water, and that is a borax and ethanol solution, which they're not soluble, so I just put a shitload of borax in there and then stir it all around, and it seems to work. I mean, we're not getting too much fire scale on anything but where I'm fucking it up. This should be the last solder. So I'll just get a little bit closer. It's nice and in that flame. Okay, there we go. Okay. I think I might have one more. Oh, we'll see. And into the sparks. Just mix them around for a bit. Let it drip dry so I don't have an explosion on my hands when I put in baking soda. I keep getting these little bubbles in there. See that? It's kind of funny. It's a little bubble of concentrated acid. It's like the least fun bubble you've ever seen in your life. And into the soda. Okay, we are all neutralized. I know it doesn't really seem like it, but this is actually like a maximum density baking soda mix, so it's beyond neutralized. I think there's more baking soda in that than there are sparks in there. So, that being said, it has a lot of cleanup to go, but we are all soldered up. We officially have a ring by technicality. So, yeah, on to the next one. I want to preface this by saying I am not, nor have I ever claimed to be a welder. However, I don't think that's too bad. I don't think that's too bad. It looks a little bad right there. It looks a little bad right there. However, that is just gunk trapped in there. It is like fully sealed up, good to go, not terrible. So we're going to get all this high points knocked down now with my Dremel. And, well, I say it's a Dremel. It's a, whatever that thing is. It's like a Dremel, but it's a little different. Anyways, doesn't matter. Yeah. And moving along nicely, you know. I'm gonna keep working on this. We are gonna be taking out the shitty parts of the soldering, and then moving on towards shaping after that. Obviously, this isn't round. have a ring. It's nice and round. It's mostly straight. It's got a little weirdness right there, but we're fixing that right now, so don't worry about it. That's pretty good. So, coming along. So I'm doing a chamfer on the inside, so it'll be a little more comfortable for you. So there's this like stock square. There's the start of the chamfer. So that way it won't be so aggressive. It won't hurt your little finger. And I'm doing that by having this running at a fixed angle in my vise, and then just keeping this straight up and down and rotating it. It takes both hands, otherwise I'd show you. But yeah, nice and chamfered. So smooth on the inside, except for that little issue right there. Oopsies. Well, it happens. Yeah, it's coming along. That's just some gunk. It's not clean yet. I got it all polished up, buffed up, but it's too square. And it looks like it's just like straight off like a lathe. So I'm gonna round the edges. I'm gonna do that with sandpaper on this like sound dampening foam. And then I've got that on a flat board. Thinking that'll let me sand it while pushing down, and that'll naturally curl it up around the edges and keep it somewhat even. So wish me luck. I know you're a little disenfranchised with the whole like jewelry thing, you know, after a whole lifetime of working in it and all of that. And I get that, I do. But like, this is something that means so much to the whole process. Like, this is us. This is our future. This is something that not only am I making, but we make together every single day that we're with each other, every day that we're around each other is just like another part of my life that I get to enjoy. That's why it's so hard to do anything with you for jewelry, because like, I know that the meaning isn't there for you anymore. And with jewelry, I know that you lost the kind of like spark of it, the fun of it, because it's your job. And so like any kind of jewelry talk is just talking about work. And I get that. Like, believe me, there's no part of shopping for insurance that's fun for me. I'm kidding. But so I know that this isn't exactly the most luxurious item. And I know that like we're not at it's not exactly a bragging right to like show this off, but I wanted to do something that I knew would be special and would be loved and would show how much care and how much emotion and how much like depth of love that I have for you. And I can't think of like any way that I could do that by purchasing something. You would not believe what a pain in the neck it is to try to get a camera to focus on anything that's not in the background. There we go. Come on. I know you want to. There we go. Okay. What am I doing? What am I doing here? I don't know what this means. Technological issues.